Pray for us. Live Jesus in our hearts forever. In the name of the Father, the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
We have a lot in store for you guys today, but before we formally start our event, let us call on our dearest project heads, Miss Florence Dignadice and Mr. Roman Benjamin Manaloto for our opening remarks.
Okay, so thanks for taking the time to join us tonight, especially since I know that it's final season, so I really appreciate uh for your dedication to being here. And I hope all of you are doing well and enriching everything. So I hope that this workshop would be a great opportunity for you guys to prepare for watching your day and your events. And I know that you guys are confident. I am confident you guys are skillful and that you can really be part of what you're doing. So I hope that you enjoy the rest of the rest of the day. Thank you.
Thank you for the wonderful opening remarks, Jem.
Those were
And those
indeed
were
very inspiring words, but I think we can now move on to the next segment of the program. Are you all ready?
So,
for this next segment. You guys better get your head in the game as we're gonna have our icebreaker. It's now or never.
Exactly, Kai. We're all in this together as we get this program off to a bang.
And that's right, Charlie, because for our icebreaker today, it's Pass the Host.
That's right. This is going to be very simple, everyone. We're going to be passing around the host role on Zoom. When the music stops, whoever is holding the host role will be asking them to introduce themselves and answer some fun questions.
Let's begin. So, guys, just pass around the host role until the music stops.
We have a new host na. Let's check. We actually do have a new host. It's Angel. Hello. Are you there?
hello.
Hello.
And
So, kindly introduce yourself muna. And then you can answer the question flashed on the screen.
um my name is Angel. I'm part of the Junior Associates for Marketing. I'm an ID 123 student. And my top artist on Spotify, I'm not sure who it is because um I have artists on repeat, so I don't know who is the top artist. Pero currently I'm obsessed with Chapel Rowan and Sabrina Carpenter.
Dude, same actually. What's your favorite song from Sabrina Carpenter?
Juno.
Juno?
Juno.
Oh my god. Guy, are you hearing this? Are you not a fan of them? But I've actually been listening to Chappell Rowan's Red Wine Supernova for the past week. I gotta say, it's a good song.
I haven't heard it all. Like I haven't listened to even one song, but that's really nice to know.
You haven't? Dude, you rode with me on my car and you say that you haven't heard those? Did I play something else? All right, I think we could call on one more person for this question, so we can start to pass the host again. Okay, we have a new co-host now. Wait, first before that, um, thank you for your answer, Angel. Kindly take the host role away from him so we can change it na. And our new co-host is Sophia from marketing as well. Grabe yung marketing, ba't yung marketing palagi tinatawag niyo? Parang targeted ata to, hindi ba? Hi Sophia, are you there?
Hi, I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Hmm, I can hear you, but it's kind of choppy, but yeah,
Oh,
I can hear
okay.
you.
Okay. Oh, I hope that it gets through well.
All right, so kindly introduce yourself first and answer the question flashed on the
Okay.
screen.
Hi, I'm Sophia, a new GA for brand management marketing as well. And hmm, well, I guess I'm not really sure who my top artist is as well because I listen to a lot of artists, but the person that popped into my head at the moment would probably have to be Artemas, if you know him.
I'm not familiar actually.
Yeah, that's okay.
Can you recommend the song?
Oh,
What's
I
a good
can't
song
recommend
from?
a certain song, but I could recommend an album actually. That my favorite one has to be Justina.
All
It's a new
right,
one. Yeah.
I hope that's good. I think
Kinda.
everyone else can listen to that album if it's really that good.
Yeah, it's more on party sounding music actually.
Oh,
Um.
that's perfect for Kai. This guy parties a lot, eh.
I
Uh,
see. I see.
I'm
Okay.
retired na. I'm more focused on investor society now.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, all right. Thank you for that answer, Sophia. We
Okay.
can now
Thank
move
you.
on to the next question for Pass the Host. All right, so we can pass the host role again. All right, so we have a new co-host, and it's Felipe from Finance. Hello, Felipe. Are you there?
Hello, can I be heard? Wait lang, I need
Yeah,
to
you.
wait lang.
Yeah, you can be heard, but we can't see you though.
Back. Oh,
You turned on your camera and we can't see you. So,
I'm up here. No worry. There you go.
all right, there you go. All right, kindly introduce yourself and answer the question flashed on the screen.
I'm Felipe. I'm ID 121. My degree is AB Psych and Entrepreneurship. So for the question, if I could spend a day as an animal, what would it be and why? I love National Geographic. So personally, I would love to be an orca, a killer whale, or the panda of the ocean, as they say. Personally, they're an apex predator. I really love those guys. Like, you just imagine like being in the ocean, because like the Earth is like 70% ocean, 30% land, and just imagine like being the apex predator of majority of the world, and just doing whatever you want, and like basically killing sharks. Like we're afraid of sharks. Like for them, it's nothing. Yeah, that's all. Really.
Oh, that's cool. Have you watched Free Willy?
Yeah. I also love
Yeah, you.
Dogs. Dogs is really good. Good movie.
Oh, all right. That's probably why you like orcas, though, or you liked it before you watched that movie.
I like them in general. Yeah. Good. But yeah, that's all
All
for me.
right. Thank you for that, Felipe. We can now pass the host to another person.
Yo, Felipe, I remember you. You were in FD and Econ, right?
Wait a minute. Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, bro, no. Small world. Small world. Damn. I did not know that. Damn. Nice.
He was my group mate, guys.
Uh,
He's
That's cool.
Wait, do I need to pass it or someone else will do it?
No, we already have a new co-host now. So we'll call him. Thank you once again, Felipe. So our new co-host to answer this question and introduce himself is Azim from Team Management.
Okay,
Hello, are you
so
there?
yeah, my
Yeah.
name is Azim, and if I were given 100 million pesos today, honestly, I wouldn't consider investing for now because I don't really have any experience. I mean, I did try investing, but it all ended up not well. Like puro loss yung mga na-incur ko. So maybe not now.
All right, so you just keep the 100 pesos in the bank or you
Yeah.
keep it at home in cash?
That ain't an option. You gotta pick one.
Yeah, you gotta pick one, man. It's theoretical anyway, so yeah, even if you do lose 20%, hey, you still have a few million left, right?
Then
Yeah,
I
you
would
missed your
just keep it for now. Yeah.
All right. Thank you for that, Azim. We can now move on to the next question or the pass the host. Okay, do we have a new host now? Okay, we have a new host now. It's Miles from DocU. Miles, are you there?
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello, yeah, we can hear you. So kindly introduce yourself and then answer the question.
Hello, I'm Miles. I'm ID 123, BS Physics, minor in Finance, and I'm a JA for DocU. If I could only eat one meal for the rest of my life, what would it be? Um, Probably a steak. I wanted it to be include some sort of meat, so why not make it a steak?
How would you like it cooked though? The steak?
Medium rare.
Yeah.
Medium rare, gang. We like that, sir. All right. Thank you for that answer, Miles.
Ooh. So since we're all warmed up for this event after that amazing icebreaker, I really love that everyone was engaged. Whoever was called up actually stepped up. That really made us happy. So let us actually move on to our main agenda.
All right. To start off, I would like to call the big bosses of the operations committee, Miss Naomi Yu and Mr. Louis da Silva, to present their overview, processes, and past projects, as well as provide a hands-on activity to you, junior associates.
Hi. Um, my name is Naomi Yu, and we're introducing you guys and showing you guys what we do in the documentations committee. Next slide, please. So, in your P-heading journey, when you guys become project heads, the documentations committee is the first committee you guys are gonna interact with because we are the ones who will provide you guys the pre-acts and acts that you to prepare. What as documentations officers, what we do is we ensure that you guys are able to prepare your pre-acts and post-acts while also following the CSO and S Life standards. CSO and S Life standards, and overall that your event will be able to be processed on after the event evaluated. So, to more easily remember what we do in the documentations committee, you guys can remember these 4 letters. P for process pre-acts and post-acts, E for email letters and permits, C for correct and check preparation of documents, and K for keep project heads happy. You guys can remember this by remembering that I'm the VP of Docu, and my favorite food is fried chicken. And what do chickens do? They peck. Next slide, please.
So I want you, so to get a better view on how we as documentations officers, guys as project head, I want you guys to visualize, imagine, and picture this. Next slide. So imagine you are a project head. Next slide. You will come to us, documentations officers, with your event details. So you're gonna say, "Hi, docu officer, this is my event. What do I need to prepare my event?" From there, we will tell you guys you would need to prepare A, B, C, and D based on the activity type and activity nature of your event. But after that, we're also gonna ask you a few follow-up questions to better know what you guys need to have your event approved. So we'll ask you guys stuff like, will you guys be posting publicities? Will this event be on-site or online? And will you guys have games or icebreakers? Next slide. After that, you will give us the event details and we will place them all in your project tracker. Now, this concept must be foreign to you guys because this is a special IS thing, a project tracker. Next slide. In this project the main purpose of this project tracker is to place all important documents and important information so that it can be easily found by both the project heads and the project team. There are 3 major tabs. Okay, there are 4 major tabs. Don't mind that, guys. Next slide. First, we have the overview tab. This contains all the general information about your event and important such as the important dates, general information of activity, contact information of project team, and contact information of project heads. I don't know if you guys can see this, but one of the how to help better track the important dates, there's a countdown, a day countdown thing. And if you guys can see the dates states there, we have 19 days to oh wait, I don't think it's 90 days. But these will count down the days to until the important date so that it'll help you guys also better visualize how much time you guys have to prepare for that date. Next slide. Okay, so we also have a calendar, but it's under construction, but this will also contain the important dates that you guys will be using. Next slide. Next, we have the deliverable guides. So the deliverables guide is a consolidated list of all the deliverables that may be requested from all committees. The deliverables are divided into 6 categories. You have pre-event approval, event features, event proper, and post-activity. Post-activity and special deliverables. This was created by me to help you guys not so that you guys all also have a way to know what you guys could do as a project head, because overall these projects, if you guys do become project heads, these projects are your projects. These are like your babies. And you should be able to know what you can and can do in this project. And so this deliverables guide will help you guys visualize on the possibilities that you guys can explore. Next slide. So I'll be explaining what each category means. So we first have pre-event approval deliverables. These are deliverables that may be needed before the preparation of the event approval deliverables. There's only one pre-event approval deliverable, and that is a list of speakers, because before you can even start conceptualizing about your event, you guys should first ask either from corporate or from investment advisory on the possible list of speakers that you guys can have. For event approval deliverables, these include almost, more or less, almost all of the pre-acts that you guys might need to prepare. For event features, these include deliverables that will help your event to gain traction. They usually need pre-acts to be approved before these can be approved. Event features include your publicities, your court art incentives, your brand book, basically everything that you guys might need to gain traction, to market your events. Event proper preparation. These are deliverables that would be needed for the event day itself or during the event day. So these include your special permit campus access to allow speakers to come into DLSU. These include your equipment request forms, equipment entry forms, your any other permits, and also D-Day checklists. Then you have post-activity deliverables. So these are basically your post-acts. These are all the deliverables that will be prepared after the event day or once the event has finished. And then for your special deliverables, there's also only one, and that's the special approval slip, which you guys can use if you guys are in a sticky situation. So let's say your reacts are already approved and you want, like, there's a distinct and important detail that you guys need to change, you will have to file a special approval slip. Now, pre-acts, they generally take 4 to 6 days to get approved. However, special approval slip, they only take 2 to 3 days. Okay. Next slide, please. Okay, so in this deliverable guide, you'll also have like a card, somewhat like a card looking thing for each deliverable, which states which committee prepares each deliverable, and each card states who prepares, general lead time of approval, requirements for approval, and preparation times, whether required or optional. Okay, so this is the deliverables tab. This is the place where we're gonna place all of the things that you guys may need to prepare. So next slide. There are a few examples of like, okay. Okay, these are examples of deliverables that you guys need to prepare. It's a lot, so I'll just read it. There's the PPRA form sample pub, venue reservation ticket, academic contest mechanics, general contest mechanics, general attendance forms with data privacy consent, pre-registration forms with data privacy consent, content paper, credentials of speakers, credentials of tutors, focus group discussion mechanics, list of participants, list of podcast topics, survey mechanics, training program mechanics, and letter of invitation for speakers. For postdocs, on the other hand, we have audited list of expenses, activity report, also known as post-activity report, list of pictures, general attendance log sheet responses, approved flyer / poster, AMT evaluation discussion points report, focus group discussions report, member feedback responses, list of sponsors, list of donations, and list of participants and winners, and survey results. Now, for letters and permits, we have letters of invitation to speakers or to companies, incentives letters, entry equipment permit, equipment request form, food entry request, special permit campus access, broadcast consent form, booth layout permit, and special approval slip. These are more or less all of the pre-acts, post-acts, and letters and permits that we in documentations handle. And these are examples of the project tracker being used. So as you guys can see, this is what your project tracker will look like in the future when you guys become project heads. Yeah. Next slide, please. So this is the end of my presentation, and these will be my parting words to you guys. On the documentation side, we will be the first committee you guys will coordinate with, and we will more or less be the last committee you guys will also coordinate with on your journey to becoming a project head. Having said all that, I know right now, after seeing all those documents that you guys might need to prepare, it looks a little bit daunting and a little bit overwhelming. But honestly, being a project head is super fun, and you will learn a lot about how projects come to life, how they're conceptualized, and how to get them approved. And whoever docu officer in charge that you guys will get, don't worry. They'll help you in any way that they can. So I hope a lot of you guys choose to become project heads in the future. I'll now be passing the mic over to our VP for Finance, Luis Miguel da Silva.
Hello, thank you, VP Docu Naomi, for your introduction to Docu. So now we'll move on to Fin. So yes, hi guys, I am Luis, the VP for Finance for Investor Society, and I'll be presenting the Finance Committee expectations when you'll become a project head. So for the Finance Committee, we have a brief overview of it. So the Finance Committee handles the financial documents and processing of each activity and event of the organization, and we help with other committees in coordinating with them with their necessary expenses that should align with the set budget allocation set by the organization. We coordinate the suppliers also for the procurement of external supplies for a particular activity. So these are IS merchandise like lanyards, shirts, and etc. So next slide, please. So moving on, so what exactly are the main roles of a finance project head? So we have three. So basically, we process Fin pre-activity documents. Next, we process the post-activity documents. And lastly, we safekeep all the receipts and invoices related to these activities. So these are the things that you can expect when you'll take your place as a project head in finance. So next slide, please. So, okay, so let's now move on to tackling these finance deliverables as a project head. So let's take a deep dive of what to expect on our committee. So, but before we start, it is important to take note of our finance lead time. So you might be wondering, what exactly is lead time? So it's the exact span of time given to us for the processing of Fin and of the Fin documents, and especially in documents in Docu. So for finance, all of our Fin documents have a strict 4 to 5 day lead time after an event proper. So we believe that this is an ample time to work on our finance documents. Next slide, please. Okay, so for our so what do Fin project heads actually do? So to start off, we are usually tasked to specify the items needed for a project as well as its total amount. So this will be presented by the breakdown of expenses, which is a finance-related table found in the PPR or the project proposal document. So as you can see here, we have a list of our materials, their respective quantity, and their respective unit cost. So after doing that, we also calculate for the total cost, and we then compare it to the declared activity budget as seen in our budget proposal, as seen in the table there in the slide. So for our next slide please. Okay, we have an overview of the finance post-acts documents that finance project head will be dealing with. So these are the no expense document, the list of expenses, the direct payment student reimbursement, and lastly, the FRA report. So next slide, please. Okay, so next we have our no expense form. So this is utilized when an event or an activity incurs no expenses in the respective event. This is usually one of the most easiest and common documents that we process. So since some of our events have no expenses, you might think that there shouldn't be no finance related activity to it. However, in our committee or in CSO in general, every activity must have a document in finance. So if there are no expenses, there should also be a corresponding document, which is usually the NE, in the case that there is no expenses incurred. So next slide, please. So next we have the list of expenses. So this is a document that showcases the particulars of each expense done within the event. the particulars and their associated establishment is important, as well as their exact amount. So dito guys sa finance, decimal points are important because these come into the tally of computing for the total amount that was expended to our event. And considering all documents should have a consistent amount all throughout their parang the making of a document or the processing of a document. And these are vital and crucial points in finance. Next, please. Okay, so for our third document in Fin, we have the direct payment student reimbursement. So this is a type of process wherein the organization requests checks to the accounting office directed to the pay for the expenses incurred on a specific activity. So this is utilized when a member of the organization handles the expenses first to be reimbursed by the org funds processed by the accounting office. So I'd give an example for this. So let's say that our president, Ms. Jami Romulo, would have to buy necessary materials for the org for a particular event, but she'll use her personal funds first. So of course, kailangan ma-reimburse siya for her funds, right? So what we do is that she'll try to request sa Fin this particular form, yung DP student reimbursement, wherein she'll be reimbursed using the org funds of the org. And this might take some time, but rest assured that her money will be brought back to her. So ayun, that's for the DP student reimbursement. Next slide, please. Okay, so for our next slide, we have the FRA or the fundraising activity report. So this is used when a particular nature of an event has the capability of raising funds. So this includes a detail-oriented report of the expenses, revenue, and profitability report of the activity. So dito guys, yung makikita yung profitability, yung expenses, the revenue, tapos basically how profitable the event is. And there's also a rating here if it's an excellent event, if it needs more improvement for the next iteration, and we base it off of the expenses and the incurred profit as well. So next slide, please. Okay, so as a finance project head, you will also be safekeeping all of our receipts. So in this case, we have the GCash receipts as well as the physical receipts. So there are times na magiging marami talaga yung hawak ng receipts in finance because we have to take note of them, and also sometimes you have to submit them as well. So hindi din pwede guys yung crumpled yung receipts because we need to make sure that every expense is accounted for. Hindi yung may mamimiss na isa or like may miss na details, because ayun nga, in Fin we are very detail oriented and we're trying to make details match with our documents talaga. So ayun, next slide please. Okay, so for our next slide, we have the Finance OIC or Officer in Charge responsibilities overview. So we have three responsibilities, namely yung correction and checking of Fin's parts in the PPR or the project proposal. And then we have processing of Fin post-ask documents. And lastly, you have contacting suppliers for material or item procurement. Next slide, please. Okay, so usually in the correction and checking of Fin tables, we have the first table here, the breakdown of expenses. So for a particular event, this is also needed to give the project heads like a particular view of what to expect the expenses of the events are. So we have the list of materials, their quantity, unit costs, and their total costs as well. So ayun, next slide please. Okay, so for our next slide, we have the allocation of expenses. So due to the expenses of the event or activity, basically we need to fund these expenses throughout the org fund. So makikita dyan yung org fund, yung participants fees, and yung sponsorship. So dyan ibabawas yung mga dedicated expenses. Next slide please. So for the third table, you have the projected income. So usually this is only done if the event has fundraising activity or a source of income, because this shows the projected income and if ever it reaches the projected income. So usually these aren't done if the events are like no expense or like hindi sila FRA events. So these are situational tables talaga for finance. So next slide please. Okay, so for our last table in Fin, we have the summary of funds. So for the summary of funds, basically, this is the table wherein we include the organization depository fund and the expenses for the event. So this is before we submit to CSO, this file should be checked and signed by the VP for Finance as well, because we would try to check if what your input is actually correct throughout all the documents and all um finance related processes that we have. So ayun, next slide please. Okay, so for the last stage for a Fin officer and Fin project head, we have the submission of post-activity documents to CSO. So as you can see in the slide, we have the Google form of the 50th CSO Finance Recording System. So basically, this is the last and final stage of finance document wherein it is submitted to CSO and it is recognized. And whenever there are times that it would be pended for changes, of course, we'd have to address them. Parang right on time para at least hindi na tayo mahirapan with our events. So next slide, please. Okay, so lastly, we have a general overview of our Fin pre-activity documents as well. So there are two. So we have the SPF, which is an item procurement from external sources. And lastly, the canteen requisition form or the CRF, which is procurement of food within the university. So, but we usually focus on SPF because as the org generates or has a lot of members, we value having merchandise in our org. So usually what we do is we have lanyards and different types of merchandise that we could offer. So ayun, next slide please. So ayun, so we have here presented on screen is our SPF. So ito yung form that we'll process when we do procure items outside. So external items siya. So we do contact suppliers. And for the slide or for the picture on the right, we have the securing quotations from external suppliers. So this is an actual document that we worked on. This was processed by Jamie Romulo, our president, and we did try to request for digital lanyards, I think last year or this year. So ayun, so that's what we do sa finance committee. So basically, we try to contact a lot of suppliers and we do a lot of the fin work talaga and all of the tracking of expenses for all different types of activities and the like. So, ayun, that's all for finance. And now I will move the floor to EVP Ops Romel to explain the various communication channels for operations.
Okay, thank you for that presentation, Naomi and Louis. So before we move on to a few more slides regarding the operations committee, I would like to know, are the JAs still there? Are the brains still braining given the technical stuff and the many documents that we have for operations? Kindly heart react if you guys are still there. Okay, that's good to hear. So, as you have seen in our previous slides, the documentations and finance committees are really in charge of the more technical aspect of the projects, and um, we don't expect you guys to memorize everything or to be familiar with everything. But what we expect you guys is to communicate effectively with your officers in charge, because we will not be leaving you alone in your project heading journey. Of course, we'll be providing you guys with members of the project team, and of course, in those members are your documentations and finance officers in charge. So with that, we expect you guys to openly communicate with them and of course relay your needs and what you envision for your project. So one of the things that we advocate for operations is of course operational efficiency through effective communication. So how then do we do that in operations given the multiple documents, multiple processes, and a lot of technical stuff that we're not really familiar with? So next slide please. Okay, so our main source of communication for all project-related aspects or all project-related events will be in Telegram. I believe most of you have your own Telegram handles already, since you're part of the JA Telegram GC or the officers chat. And of course, why Telegram? Telegram has this professional setup wherein we can talk about work-related or IS-related things here. Um, we're not really going to be using too much of the Messenger platform. This is because Messenger is usually used for personal or of course academic purposes. So we're trying to create the boundary between that and of course between work, which is IS. And for Telegram, it's actually more efficient to use for us since it has a lot of distinct and of course superior features over Messenger. We have the pinned messages, of course, the topics, and other features that are not really in other platforms that we have right now. So I would highly encourage the JAs and of course the AVPs to focus on their Telegram handles, or rather stay alert in their Telegram when it comes to their projects, because we'll be communicating here most of the time. Next slide, please. Okay, so we're gonna have two main groups essentially for Telegram. The first one would be the project heads GC. In this GC, there would be, of course, all the project heads for all the events for the upcoming term 2, along with the EB Execom. So I hope by now you're familiar with who's the respective EVPs, the respective VPs for each committee. But it's okay if you're not yet familiar with everyone, if you're not yet sure who everyone is, we'll get to know each other better in the upcoming terms. And of course, the next Telegram GC would be the actual project GC. So term 2 sample project, I just put that there as an example. So basically, all projects for term 2, there will be a separate GC for each one. So project number 1, that's a GC. Project number 2, that's a GC. Number 3, etc. So it won't be only one GC, but there will only be one GC for the project heads themselves. So all project heads are included in this IS project heads GC. Project heads plus EB and Execom. For the respective project GCs naman, who's in there are the project heads, of course, and of course the members of the project team, as well as the EB Execom. So you guys are going to be directly communicating there in your respective project GCs, if ever you're selected as one of the project heads. So next slide, please. Okay, so one of the contents of the project GCs is, of course, the topics that we're gonna be having. There are a lot of topics, but don't worry, I'll be explaining each one very briefly para you guys are aware. So first off is the pro team chat, or what we like to call the general chat. And in this topic, it's more focused on the ideas, or like the general day-to-day communications of the project head. So if you're a project head, then you have you just want to ask something like in general, or you want to communicate with your project team on what ideas do they have. You guys want to brainstorm. You can input all those. You can chat all those here in the pro team chat or the project team chat. Next up. Next up, we have the announcements. So in the announcements topic, we have here like urgent or important announcements that you guys may have for your project team, or the EV Execom may have for you guys. So anything related to the urgent or important aspects of the project will be made here. And I'm not sure if you can see here, but we also have like the fixed details of the project. Fixed details would include, of course, the activity title of the project. Let's say in this example, it's Jammies IS Funds, who the project heads are for that project. And to answer the question earlier, it was actually we can actually have more than one project head. So it's not limited to only one. We can have up to 3 or 4, depending on, of course, how heavy the project is. The nature and type of activity, which was briefly discussed by the VP for documentations earlier. So it can be special interest or an awareness campaign, it can be a training program, a team building activity, a general assembly, and many more. And of course, we have here the activity duration. Activity duration is basically how long will the activity or the project go for. So it can either be year long, from term 1 until term 3, or term long, the entire term 2. Multiple dates, meaning like you can have it on January 2nd, February 14, March 13, something like that. Or single date activities, which will only be held within a single day. And of course, the faculty advisor. So just a brief touch on that briefly lang. We have 3 faculty advisors for the entire school year. They are Dr. Nelson Gillen from marketing, Dr. Arlene Inocencio from SOE, and of course, Sir Reinite Madrid, I believe, from VSI. And of course, we're going to have the venue of your specific event. In this case, it's Andrew 1703, and of course the schedule. Schedule would be, of course, the date and the time of the event. So you might think, who will be the ones to like put these topics? Who will be the ones to create this Telegram GCs? So not to worry, guys. We're not gonna make you do a lot of technical stuff. So by the time you guys are selected as project heads, these Telegram GCs would have already been put in place. It would already been have created with all these topics and of course first announcements to be made. So don't worry about that. Just focus on planning and executing your project. So the technicalities of Telegram, kami na bahala doon. You guys just focus on the project. Okay. Next slide, please. Pertinent links and of course the attachments. So this topic will serve of course as the compilation of all the important links that you may have regarding your project. And of course, attachments being pictures, files, or other documents that are not yet approved. You can all dump them here. Kasi there might be certain times that the officers in charge might require you to fill up this document, or certain committees will ask you for this file, this picture. So just be ready with that by dumping everything here, by putting everything here in this topic. So example for that, the documentations officer in charge would put your project drive along with your project tracker, which was previously discussed. You guys can access all of this there in this topic. And yes, moving on. Next slide, please. Important dates. Of course, it's also important to take note of the important dates for your project. So by what day will you execute the project? What day will you finish the deadlines for the pre-acts, the pre-activity documents? When do you need a list of speakers? When do you need training program mechanics? Basically, all the documents and processes that that will be tasked of you should be input here, of course, with the soft and hard deadlines for each task. Next slide, please. Task assignments and progress updates. This was actually implemented by the AUP project heads, the AUP project heads, and this task would be basically who is assigned to which specific task. Let's say you're a member of the project team. You're member one. Member one is assigned to this, and this should be done by a specific date, let's say December 25, and by specific time. Then, of course, when you're tracking the specific deliverable or the specific task, we should know if the task has been started, the task is in progress, or are there any revisions, and of course, if the task is finished. So it will be up to you guys. It will be up to your strategy on how you plan to implement this topic. How do you guys want to divide the task? Who will be doing this? Who's in charge of these documents? Of course, how will you track this? Okay, next, please. And lastly, committee-specific topic. So once you access this certain topics, you will see in each committee there are certain, let's say, templates or guidelines on how to talk to or how to ask for approval from the different officers in charge in each committee. So I'll not be going into this in detail since it's gonna take a lot of time. We still have two more committees, but yes, once you have access to these topics, you will see what the templates are and how to use this specific topic. So it's congested naman into the 5 main committees, which are brand management, externals, internals, investments, and of course the operations committees. So that's it for operations. We covered the technical stuff and of course the communication guidelines for us. So I'd like to move the floor back to the host. Thank you.
Thank you, Naomi, Louie, and Romel for that engaging committee overview. Guys, ask ko lang if nandyan pa kayo dahil alam kong mahaba yung mga sinabi nila. And it was very engaging and technical at the same time. Guys, can I get some heart reacts if you guys are still there? Huwag kayong mahiya na mag-heart react dahil hindi naman ako yung terror prof nyo na tatawagin ko kayo bigla if you engage. Alright. Thank you for those heart reacts. Before we move on with the rest of the program, let's take some time for another icebreaker.
Yes, sir. So for our next icebreaker, it's gonna be guess the emoji phrase. And for this one, we're going to be flashing a series of emojis on the screen, and it's up to you guys to figure out what they're trying to say. So is everyone ready? I want to like react if you're ready.
Okay, guys.
All
Before
right.
we start, I just want to tell the instructions. If you know the answer or you have any idea of the answer and you want to share it to us, kindly raise your hand so we can call you. And then you can raise your hand after we count down from 5. Is everyone ready? I'm pretty sure you guys are. So, can we move on to the first slide, the first emojis? Ayun. Kai, I think you should count from 5 so we can get this started off.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you know it, raise your hand, guys. Come on. Give it a thought. Don't be
Balikan ko yung headphones ko. Nandyan.
Alright, I think that's a mishap. Come on, guys, raise your hand if you know the answer, if you have any idea. Alright, we got our first volunteer. Kindly introduce yourself and then give us the answer.
Hi, I'm Sabby, and I'm not too sure, but is it the stock market?
Do we consider this guy?
Ooh. Why don't we see the answer? Oh, wait, never mind. We have Son or Felipe who wants to answer first. Why don't you try and give us an answer? Come on.
This is just a guess, but I'm thinking rise and fall money. I'm thinking inflation.
Inflation. Oh, that's actually a good guess.
That's
I'm
a
not
good
gonna lie.
guess. But she was closer.
Ooh, Jules.
Hi. So is it stocks?
Yes.
Oh, she got it. It's
You got it.
stocks. Yo, check it out.
Is it really stocks? How come it's not showing?
Yeah.
All right. So I think she gets a point for that, right? As
She
for
does get a
yeah, we're TMs. Thank you for those who participated. We can now move on to the next emojis.
Ooh.
This is a hard one, I think. Do we have any volunteers? Oh, actually, we have to count down from 5. Okay. Okay, everyone's taking note of the instructions and I forgot about it. All right, I'll count down from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Guys, raise your hand if you have any idea. We got Geo.
Is it to the moon?
No, it's actually one word. Okay, let's call the
Tristan.
next one up.
Tristan, you're up. What's the answer, man?
Is it Bitcoin?
Ooh, it's actually a good guess, but it's not a Bitcoin. But it's related, maybe. Maybe. Son, you're up next. What do you think the answer is?
I'm just gonna go ahead and guess cryptocurrency.
Ooh, is it cryptocurrency? Why don't we check it out?
Check out the right answer.
It is cryptocurrency.
Right,
So
thank
you got
for
it
those
right.
who participated. You can move on to the next one. There's plenty. Actually, how many is there left? We still have 3 more. More chances for everyone. So here's our next set of emojis. Kai, would you mind counting down from 5?
All right, get ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Hey, Jules first. Yo, what's the answer?
Just a guess. Is it real estate?
Yep. I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure it is.
Felipe has a guess. Is it
I was thinking like median income or something. I don't know.
medium income?
Good
Well, it
guess.
is 2 words. And Ame,
I was
what do you
thinking
think the answer
household
is?
income.
Household income. No, that's also 2 words. But I think it's time to reveal the right answer. It is real estate. So, Jules, you got the right answer once again. Dang, okay. Someone's getting a lot of coins.
All right.
Alright.
We have more coins to give away to our JAs. So let's now move on to the next set of emojis. Oh, I think this is a
Ooh.
hard one. I purposely made this hard. But I don't think it's that hard to guess, right? So I'll count down from 5. You guys ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Son, you're up first. Yo, what's the answer, man?
Is it Starbucks?
Could be.
Maybe. Jules, once again.
Is it
What is it?
Christmas bonus?
Christmas bonus. Yo, I'm looking forward to that too, but it's only one word.
I hope I got one too.
Yeah, I hope I get one also. I'm kind of broke, not gonna lie. Ivan, yo, what's the answer, bro?
Man, my original guess was Starbucks, but apparently it's not right. So maybe Bull Run, but
I
it's not a
suggest you
bull.
hold on to your original answer.
Yeah.
I suggest
Fel-
you hold on to that. I mean, bear in mind, guys, we can actually give coins to multiple people if they do give the same right answers. So, all right. Still raising his hand is Felipe. What do you think is the
I
answer?
was thinking something similar to like, I was thinking 13th month, but since that's not sure, I'm just gonna go with a joke. Ang Pao, I don't know. It reminds me of like the red envelopes you get for Christmas from your titos. Yeah.
Yo, I wish I could get a lot of ang paos this Christmas. Not gonna lie. But I think it's time to show off the right answer and distribute our coins. And it is Starbucks. Yo, whoever answered Starbucks, y'all get some coins. Let's go.
Keep that in mind. So, okay. Let's move on to our last set of emojis.
Ooh.
Start it off. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ricky.
Ricky.
Yo, a new name up in here. Yo, Ricky, what's your guess?
I don't think it's the right answer, but I'll just say Wolf of Wall Street.
Maybe. Possibly. Good call though.
Wolf is
I-
literally there as an emoji, so
Ivan up next. Once again.
Yeah, I also guessed the Wolf of Wall Street.
okay. You can call one last. And let's
Yeah.
call who's next up. Sabi, what's your answer?
I also initially thought Wolf of Wall Street.
Okay, are you gonna hold on to that answer?
Yes.
All right. So can we get an answer reveal now? All right.
The Wolf of Wall Street.
We got 3 free coins to give away. Oh, actually, it's just 1 per emoji question. Well, we'll figure something out later on. But with that, I think that we can move on.
All right, everyone. So I hope you all got another shot of energy after that last icebreaker, and you're ready to do some more learning from our next committees. So now let's move on.
Yes, sir. Let's go. Let us welcome the lead representatives of Investor Society. They handle all the tie-ups inside and outside of IS. I would like to call on the Externals Committee.
Hi, hello, hi. Hi, Charles, hi, Kai. So, thank you. I'm Dexter Caldesus, VP for University Relations. So, now, since wala si Luisa, let's go back to the first slide muna. Since wala si Luisa, ako muna mag-represent. So, what is externals for project heading? So basically, we are responsible for outsourcing yung mga speakers for events. We contact the company, we contact orgs, professors, and less yung staff namin, less technical compared to operations. So next slide. So Unibrel is a supplementary committee for projects, basically enhancing events and the organization. So hindi kami mandatory for projects, pero hanapin nyo kami kasi want nyo ng tulong ng committee namin. Next is we help in having your event have more attendees by promoting and partnering with other organizations within and outside the LSU. So basically, may makukuha kayong attendees from other organizations to increase yung attendees to improve yung performance ng event. Yung event kasi natin is graded by CSO. I believe 50 points is perfect. And yan, next slide. So port R incentives or incentivized class. I believe everyone knows what is a port R incentives, pero just in case, what is a port R incentive? It is an alternative class which will give you additional points, merits, attendance for class given by professors. So basically, if may absent ka or want extra points from that subject, props will endorse our event and mas madaming attendees. So paano ma-incentivize yung classes natin? Next slide. Port our request form. So this is what it looks like. Yan lang. Next slide. So step 1 ng port our request form. So answer our Google Forms lang, yung nakita nyo kanina. And then just fill in details like yung names, details, answer, and then kami na mag-settle. So basically kami na talaga yung responsible. Just fill in the Google Forms. Step 2, send the request template through the Telegram group chat. So nakita nyo external request na yan, yung malaking block na yan sa gilid. Ayan, ilagay nyo sa Telegram yan, then para ma-inform lang kami. Then step 3, optional lang ang follow-up. Optional lang yung follow-up if wala pong response from external officers within 2 days. So hindi naman sana mangyari, but if nangyari na no response pa rin from our pro team, just contact me from via Telegram or Messenger para mas mabilis. Next slide. So this is what it would look like pag nagawa yung port our incentives. Magpo-post yung BM sa Facebook group natin to promote our event. Next slide. So now, lead time. Time needed by university relations. So ideally, pre-acts is approved by 1 month in advance before the event starts kasi hindi namin mapoprocess yung mga stuff na kailangan gawin. Pero 14 days lead time is also okay. So yan. Unfortunately, we can't process the port our incentives if it's not in the lead time as much as we want to kasi slow mag-reply ang props and hindi agad na-process ang port our incentives. So yan. Next slide. Now, kung gusto niyo makita yung sistema, ayan. Naka-attach naman ata yun sa Pro Teams Telegram and then makikita niyo yung links dyan. Next slide. So, yung mga department heads, so let's say, sa accountancy, yung department head doon is si Mr. Arnel Uy. Pag na-approve yung department na yon, pwede natin makontak yung professors sa accountancy like FBNAC, ACFAR, and Acumen. And then yan. Next slide. So, ito na, corporate relations. So, sayang wala si Luisa, si Siri, or si Bianca. So, I'm just gonna give a brief overview, maikli lang, na parang which was made by Siri. So, yeah. What do we do? A brief overview of corporate relations. So, corporate relations focuses on building partnerships with nonprofits, small businesses, and large companies. So the committee is responsible for sourcing speakers. Additionally, they ensure that the organization adheres to the agreements and regulations established with these partners. Next slide. Now, outsourcing speakers. What is speaker outsourcing? We contact representatives from financial companies that can discuss and teach for our event. So, some companies na pwede natin makuhanan are from CTS, Global Equity, Call Financial, Coins PH, Dragonfly, and so on. Ayun nyo, nakita nyo yung gilid na yan. Ayun yung dating speakers natin from our event last year, Intro to Cryptocurrency, and then makikita nyo yung accolades, education, and so on. Kami yung nag-ready nun, yung corporate relations. Next slide. So, i-fill up nyo lang yan pag project head na kayo. Tapos, ayan, this is what it looks like. Pretty much the same thing like katulad ng Port R incentives. Fill upan nyo lang Google Forms na yan. Makikita nyo sa Telegram, Pro Team GC nyo, yung chat na yan. Yung nakikita nyo yung block na yan. Ayan. Next slide. So, pretty much the same thing nga, katulad ng Port R request form, answer our Google Forms, i-notify nyo lang yung Telegram group chat, and then step 3 optional, if ever lang no response, contact si Siri or si Bianca Manzano, BP Port Corpel. Next slide. So, mas mahirap yung sa Corporel kasi speakers tayo from other companies. Hindi naman to parang option, hindi to optional unlike university relations. This is mandatory. So, kailangan nyo ng speakers pag naging project head kayo sa events nyo. Yung ginagawa kasi ng speakers, sila yung mismong content ng event natin. Sila nagsasalita, sila nagtuturo mga technical stuff, and other educational stuff na kailangan sa event na yan. So, outsourcing for speakers needs 25 days of lead time. Pero usually, we're in contact na with them. Pero fill out the Google Forms kasi kailangan namin ng 25 days lead time. So, bakit? Kasi difficulty in finding representative speakers. Kasi konti lang representative ng mga companies minsan. Slow communication. Mabagal sila mag-reply. Arrangement of schedules and so on. Yeah. Next slide. Special Permit for Campus Access, SPCA. Ito, kailangan natin talaga na to. Ito yung parang importante para ma-accomplish yung event natin. Pag hindi na-accomplish to, walang speaker and possible madali pa yung event natin. So, importante itong SPCA. So, ayan. Content of SPCA, pero madali lang naman gawin to, so it's okay. So, details of project, like name nyo lang, list of speakers, and if ever may kasama sila, list of kung ilang kotse nila or time of arrival. Usually, lalagay natin morning and then gabi. And then, ayun na. Next slide. The partnership process, a summary. So basically, ito lang yung ginagawa ng corporate relationship in overall essence. Basically, updating our database, contacting yung mga speakers, contacting companies, negotiation in meetings. So basically, we will have a Zoom meeting or pwedeng on-site. Pero hindi nyo naman gagawin itong project heads. Kami nagagawa nitong corporate relations. MOA process, documents, compliance and responsibilities, and so. Next slide, please. Process of MOA. Ito. Hindi nyo na kailangan gawin tong project heads. Medyo kami na to since this is kind of technical na rin. So, Memorandum of Agreement or also known as MOA is a legal agreement between parties involving a partnership or sponsorship. So, ayun lang. Kukuha lang kami ng parang firma from SCSO, OULC, from other companies, and S-Type. Next slide, please. So this is what it looks like, Memorandum of Agreement. Usually, mga 3 to 4 pages yan. Pero yan, Affinity. At yung MOA natin with Affinity Capital Corp, which Romel works at also. So yan, next slide. Ito yung sistema namin. So, makikita nyo nga yun sa ProTeams GC nyo, sa Telegram, and then compliance tracker, and next slide. So, yun. For mga aspiring projects, ito is, hindi ako medyo well-oriented sa slide na to kasi ginawa ni Luis ito. So, ito nga, main things na ginagawa ng Corporel is getting speakers and then X deals. So, basically, we could get food, money, if ever, maganda negotiation natin, which is called X deals. And next slide, please. Ayan, so final words lang. Even though mas madali yung sa amin and less technical, sometimes we have difficulties with the process and most of the time, it's out of our control. So it's okay if hindi ma-process. And just inform us na lang ako, Dexter Caldesus, Luisa, and then Siri or Bianca Manzano. Ayun lang. Thank you. Ayun lang.
All right. Thank you, Dexter, for that awesome committee overview. Kai, I think we should move on to the next committee na, no?
Of course. Let us welcome our creative bosses of the Brand Management Committee. I would like to call on Ms. Anthea Buenavista and Christine Villanueva to present their committee overview.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Anthea Buenavista, and I am the VP for Creatives under Brand Management, but you can call me Thea. So, moving on to the Creatives Committee. Next slide, please. The Creatives Committee, aside from the Marketing Committee, is the committee that is partly responsible for enhancing an event's exposure in social media and involvement, increasing the numbers of those who will join and participate in events or projects. So, how do we do this? Well, we are in charge of creating static and video publications and then posting them on social media. Next slide, please. Now, the question is, what are the main roles you can generally expect from the Creatives Committee for each event? First, the Creatives Committee, along with the Marketing Committee, will handle the photography and the videography of the event. Second, we handle the creation of static pubs for the event that will be posted on social media. Later, Christine will show sample pubs. So yeah. Third, we handle the video editing for the videos planned by the marketing team to be posted. These would usually include teaser videos, recap videos, and other fun bite-sized content. More examples on that later. Last thing that we need to accomplish as the Creatives Committee is the online publicity approval form that we submit before posting a pub. Aside from these, what will you most likely need from us for each event as project heads? Next slide. First are the publications, such as static pubs or video pubs. Apparently, we are required to have at least one main pub and 3 supplementary pubs for each event, so keep that in mind as project heads. Other than pubs, you might need booth designs, any sort of props, Zoom backgrounds, and any other deliverables that are related to designing. So if you need any of these, just approach any of the main persons to contact. And who are these people? Next slide. There are 2 main persons to contact, namely me, the VP for Creatives, and the Creatives OIC. The Creatives OIC is the main creatives officer that is assigned to each event or project. They are mainly the ones in charge of creating the pubs needed and will oversee the full production process of the event. Of course, as I am the VP for Creatives, I am in charge of assigning who the Creatives OIC would be for the event and assigning them throughout the whole, or assisting them rather, throughout the whole production process. I can also be the person you come to if you need consultation regarding the event theme, as well as yung VP for marketing, si Christine. Last, if there are any concerns related to the Creatives OICs or anything creatives related generally, I encourage you to contact me. So I've been mentioning the production process since earlier. What I mean by that is a general timeline of activities or processes for each event, namely the pre-production stage, production stage, and post-production stage. Let's break this down and start with pre-production. Next slide, please. Pre-production is essentially what the Creatives Committee must accomplish before each event. When it comes to this stage, there are 5 main steps. First, project conceptualization. Second, the assignment of roles. Third, accomplishment of the campaign blueprint by the marketing OIC. Fourth, the creation of the pubs needed by the Creatives OIC. Last is the submission of the OPA form. Let's explain more about these in detail. Next slide, please. First in the pre-production stage is project conceptualization, which is the main thing that you as project heads will have to do first. It is your job to conceptualize the main branding or theme, vision, and rationale of each event. For example, yung theme na gusto nyo would be High School Musical or Tangled, edi you must relay this right away to me, the VP for Creatives, or to Christine, the VP for Marketing. It is best if you accomplish this at least 4 weeks before the event itself. Next slide, please. Second naman in the pre-production stage is the assignment of roles. And what usually happens here? After you've relayed the theme and vision of the project or event to us, it is now time for me and Christine to assign both the creatives OIC and marketing OIC that will mainly oversee the production process for the event. This will be accomplished ideally at least 3 weeks before the event or once the project conceptualization has been done. So as soon as possible yan. Next slide, please. Next in the pre-production process is the accomplishment of the campaign blueprint, which is the marketing OIC's job. And it will be explained in more detail later in the marketing segment. But the campaign blueprint essentially contains a detailed look into a project's branding based on the theme that the project heads have provided. Next slide, please. Once the campaign blueprint is finished, this is where the creatives OIC takes full reign. The creatives OIC accomplishes the pubs needed based on the campaign blueprint. Like I mentioned earlier, we need at least 1 main pub and 3 supplementary pubs for each event. It is ideal that this is all done 1 week before the event. Next slide, please. Last for the pre-production stage is the approval of the OPA form, which is a form we submit before each pub is posted. Take note that without approval, we will not be able to post the pubs. So it is really important that we have this accomplished. Ideally, all the pubs and OPA forms are accomplished at least 3 to 7 days before the event, just in case my revisions pang kailangan. But you guys don't need to worry, creatives OICs or the creatives committee, kami na bahala dito. All you have to do is take note na submitted na siya and to be posted. Next slide. To summarize, this is the whole pre-production process. Kasi alam kong medyo overwhelmed na kayo with information. You may screenshot this for future reference. Before we proceed though, why should I tell you our whole process? You as project heads are responsible to oversee the whole process. So kahit kami bahala, kailangan ma-monitor nyo kami, and you must ensure that there is movement, especially since the pre-production stage of the event is one of the most important stages in the event itself. Next slide. Now, moving on to the event proper or production stage of the event, there are mainly 3 things that the creatives committee is responsible for. So this is just a general, these are our general responsibilities lang. These include the visual documentation of the event, like photography and videography. Next is the event's booth design or props if meron. And last is the filming for bite-sized content on the day or on the event itself. Next slide, please. For post-production or after the event, all you need to know is that we're responsible for editing the bite-sized content or other postings that we have planned once the event is over. This also means that we will do the whole OPA form submission process for each pub that we plan on posting after each event. Before I conclude my presentation for the creatives committee, I want you guys as project heads or as officers in general to keep in mind that you must consider that pub creation isn't a straightforward process and it really takes time. We have to brainstorm and make sure that the pubs we make are really good and hindi basta-basta as creatives officers. And why is this? Basically, the pubs that are posted in all of our social media are what sets the image of our own organization. So as much as possible, don't ask the creatives OIC or the creatives officer to create a pub within the day. If you need a pub, ensure that you ask for it at least 2 days before, especially those pubs that need CSO approval. So that's all for the creative side of things, and thank you.
All right. Thank you for that, Thea. So we can't move on yet to marketing. So what we're going to do for now is that we're going to talk with UJAs muna, right, Guy?
Yeah, indeed. All right, so whoever we're gonna be picking out one of you guys. Princess, how are you doing today?
Are you referring to me?
Yes, JATM. How
Oh
are you
yeah,
doing today?
I'm good, I guess. Thanks for asking.
We're doing good. How is the org life for you so far? How are you enjoying the Investor Society?
It's all right. It's my first time joining an org and actually participating, so far it's a nice experience.
I understand. That's so great. We have a lot to look forward to this year. So let's move on to another JA since there are a lot of you here today. Um, Charlie, another Charlie, actually, JA for marketing. How are you doing today?
That's a cool
Hello.
name, bro.
I know, right? Every time I hear Charlie getting called, I'm like, am I getting graded recitation? I thought I'm getting called whenever another Charlie's getting called. But
That's
yeah,
good,
I'm doing that's good.
bro.
But yeah, I'm doing fine. How about you guys?
We're doing great. Yo, how are you enjoying Investor Society so far?
It's very informational, yeah, and very engaging too. It's good.
Oh,
Are
it's
you a
lit.
P-head in the future, Charlie?
Sorry, what?
Are you gonna be a project head in the future, maybe? You
Yeah,
think about
probably,
it
maybe.
already?
Yeah.
All right, that's good to hear.
We honestly engage. We actually really encourage you guys, you JAs, to really get involved with the projects and be project heads. You won't only earn coins, but you're also going to get a lot of valuable experience from it. Trust me, I tried my hand at it before, and it was great.
I think they should call
So
someone else from another committee, no? How many committees we have again? We have a lot. Okay, let's call someone from team management. I see Addy. Addy, are you there?
Yes. Hello.
Hello, how are you doing?
Actually eating dinner na. Sorry.
Oh, you're eating dinner na. Oh my
Yeah.
god, why did I call you? I'm ruining your dinner.
It's okay.
I think we should call someone else then. Let you enjoy your dinner first, man. Alright, let's call someone from.
why don't we
You
call
choose,
someone?
guy. Different committee.
Why don't we call on someone from our committee, memberships? I
Membership.
see Raf. Yo, what's up, man?
You're
How
Rafi.
about
I don't think he's there.
how about Gab, JA for MEMS? How are you doing today?
Hello. I'm doing good. I'm also currently eating right now. But yeah, very nice.
What are
So
you
yeah, I have
eating
a question.
now?
Uncle John chicken.
It's honestly the best. Oh, what did you enjoy the most about the presentation so far, Gab?
Well, I enjoyed I really enjoyed seeing how things work. So, I'm excited to try my hand in being a project head in the future.
That's
That
good to
sounds
hear. We gotta get you to host first, man, since you're from MEMS. Before you project head. We gotta do that first. No, Kai. That's what we do for the members, no? Memberships, no? The GAs.
yeah, hosting is a really big part of it all, and we're here to help you. Just ask us anything you need, and we'll get you through it. And our goal is to build you up and get you to be the best at hosting and the best version of yourself. You know what I mean? Motivation for the day. All
Alright.
right.
What's a good next committee to call? Who haven't we called yet? Still a lot. Wait, what?
How
Who did
about
we call already? We had memberships. We've had wait special request. Wait, we got a special request. Request incoming. Call your EVP, Kai. I want you to do the honors of calling our EVP in internals.
yes, I would like to call on Venice Santos, our EVP for internals.
Talagang may nanunuplong talaga sa akin dito sa org na 'to. Talagang pinagkakaisahan niyo talaga ako. Kanina yung avatar ko yung may problema, eh. Tinatawanan ako ng ibang
Para kang natutulog kasi kanina, Ben, dun sa avatar mo. Akala
Sabi
ko,
nga nila para daw ang laki ng mata ko, like
ah, kanina
Oo.
pag yumuko ka, pumipikit ka, parang tulog ka. Parang sarap nga ng tulog mo eh.
Hoy, hindi ako natutulog, gising na gising ako. Alam ko nga na dalawang JATM ay JATM, TMJA na yung natawag niyo, eh, oh, 'di ba?
Kami nga,
Oo,
hindi namin
talaga.
alam eh.
Ay, talaga, Romel, salamat. Vinolunteer pala ako ni Romel,
Oo,
alright.
si Romel, tatanong pa lang
I'm
sana kita kung kilala mo sino nag-volunteer eh.
Talagang I'm getting hit in all directions, pati yung VP ko kanina.
You know what? Dahil dyan, we should have you call on one of our JAs so they
Okay.
can answer questions from Kaiden.
Sige, sige. Pipili ako ng ating JA. Puro TM nakikita ko ah. Eto, si Jules from Investment Research. Are you here?
Hello. This is
Hi.
Hello.
Hello, Jules. How are you doing today? How did you like the presentation so far?
Yeah, it's very interesting learning about the different subcommittees. But if I'm gonna be honest, the best part was the games. Kasi nga, I won twice.
Okay, we'll keep
Oh,
that in
Good
mind and
job,
add
Jules. Daming coins niyan.
so how do you like Investor Society so far?
So far it's really well. I like that everyone is very organized and it seems like everyone is really coordinated with the different subcommittees. So I feel like when you guys do a project like this, it's going to be free flowing lang and it's easy to navigate. Yeah, so I like that.
All right, everyone. So that concludes our kamustahan for this segment. We will now proceed to a short break while we anticipate the marketing committee to present.
All right, guys, we'll give you probably around 5 minutes to do whatever you want. Go to the toilet. Tell your parents na you're going to be late for dinner because you're in a meeting. Yeah, just do whatever you want for the short break.
All right, everyone. I hope you all are well rested after our short break. Now it's time to move on to the marketing committee to give their presentation. May I call on Miss Christine Villanueva?
Hi everyone. Good evening. So are you guys still there? Heart react naman kayo if you're still there. So we know you're there and hindi lang kami podcast. Podcast. Yes. So all right. So in with marketing, of course we are very involved in every project in IS. So in summary, at first what we do, we are involved in the team ideation with the project heads and of course with the marketing OIC. Um, of course, we're involved with the preparation of the campaign, with the publications. But first, next slide, please. This is basically our step-by-step process. So this I will discuss this in detail, but first, um, what we have as our processes is the ideation and the conceptualization of the team with the marketing OIC. We have the submission of the publicity requisition form by the project heads. We also have the coordination with the creatives, the committee regarding the requested publication materials, and of course, submitting the materials, waiting for approval, and posting. So next slide, please. Okay, so this is one of the very important steps because this is where we really have to work together with the project heads, with the marketing team, because why is it important to do this step? Of course, we want to establish a strong foundation on the team. It sets the tone for the entire campaign and for the entire project. And we want to have a cohesive visual and messaging framework. So we hope for it to be well thought of, and para it really ensures that it's clear and aligned with the goals of our organization, the target audience, and it's aligned with our projects. Of course, we also want to have this visual and unique, appealing theme that strengthens our identity as a brand. We want to make the event really memorable for them. So para when they see our campaigns, they can really think, that's IS. So mga ganon. And we want them to we will be stuck in their minds in some set like that. So it really ties all together the marketing materials that really ensures this consistent narrative. And of course, with this is where we guide the creative execution because without a clear team, without a clear direction, it goes off brand. So this is really how it goes. So the important details here is basically project heads will collaborate with the marketing officer in charge to identify, the key objectives, the event goals, the target audience. We also, look back at our previous campaigns to identify what worked and what didn't. And of course, with that, we brainstorm our team ideas that are relevant and would say innovative. Because that's as long as we ensure that they align with our organizational branding, the IS7 branding, and our resources. And and of course, once we were able to, align together with the project heads, we will take note of that for our campaign blueprint or in our publicity requisition form. Next slide, please. So next we have here the submission of the publicity requisition form by the project heads. So what is this? This is basically, we will be providing a document where it is basically your request form that includes it also includes the theme, but it also includes like the key details like the venue, the time, the date, yung mga ENP stuff from our pre-acts, pati yung the posting dates as well, and the details that you want on each pubs or each captions. And this basically, this is important because it really streamlines the request and it ensures that all required information is submitted, systematically. So it also reduces the back and forth communication or any miscommunications that we will be able to prevent. With this, we also ensure transparency where we clearly outline the materials needed, the deadlines, and other requirements from the brand management committee. So it also, it will help the marketing and creatives team to, allocate our manpower and our resources efficiently. And yeah, this is going to be our standardized format. So with this, basically the project heads will fill out the form, providing the essential details. We will have a template for this also. Include any specific content, like kung meron kayong gustong tagline na kasama in your campaign or inspiration, the pegs, it all goes down there. And of course, you're going to be submitting this form within the specified timeline. So this specified timeline for this, usually, the goal is it's sabay with the pre-acts para, it's really working together na it's going, your materials will be ready on time for your event and for enough time for the brand management committee to really work on our the materials and the postings. And yeah, next slide please. So coordination with the creatives OIC regarding the requested publication materials. So as you know, obviously brand management, we work hand in hand with creatives. So of course, this is important because it will ensure that everyone understands their responsibilities, their deliverables, and of course the creative vision. And it also improves our efficiency as the committee, and early discussions na rin on any potential challenges and resources. So what are the details on this process? First, we ensure that we align with the creatives OIC to discuss the creative brief and the publicity requisition form. We also agree on timelines for the publication materials, for the postings, and of course, yung any revisions that will be needed. There needs to be enough time for that, and provide any additional assets, or if there are other other elements that we need to be visible. So you will align here, and this is very important. So set clear deadlines for drafts and final outputs as much as possible. No rush pubs. Why? Because if we're posting this on our social media platforms of the organization, as you guys know, this is actually subject to approval pa from CSO, PNP, and it takes not just 1 day, mga 2 days minimum na yon until it gets approved. So hindi talaga siya pwedeng rush na naisip lang within the day. So that's the case for that. And of course, we will have the regular check-ins to track the progress and address our feedback promptly. All right. Next slide, please. Ayan na. So we're here in the submission of publication materials. So basically the details here is, it will be creatives reviewing the materials for adherence to the theme. They will be submitting this as well, and so ensure that all materials adhere to the theme, to the branding, to the guidelines, and all the revisions are promptly addressed. And it's preparation for submission na. And of course, once approved, materials are deployed according to the plan, according to the campaign blueprint. So if it's for posting, for email marketing, mga stuff like that. So yeah, so these are the processes. And long story short, this is all processes are important here, all steps, kasi it really ensures our efficiency, our cohesiveness, and of course our impact, to our audience. So next slide, please. This is just a quick overview what marketing does, but this is where you can see now we really have a streamlined process. So as much as possible, we want everyone to, we align beforehand, and we align accordingly with what we need to provide, we want to do, and what we want to achieve together. Next slide, please. Yes, so for our pubs, actually, one of the key things that we also have to remember is that every event, we are required by CSO to provide 1 main publication and 3 supplementary materials. Of course, marketing will help you think of that, but here we'll have some of our samples from the previous year as well. So as you can see, main pub. Of course, the important details in your main pub is of course the event name, the venue, the time and date. So these are the important stuff that are needed for each main pub. Because without that, actually, the pub will not be approved. And of course, realistically speaking, they won't know where to go and when it will be held. So, of course, we have our main pub. Next slide, please. Okay, sorry. Mas tatlong video. May sabay pala siya ng tatlo. But yeah, here we have our teaser pubs. So you can play the one. Yeah, you can play that. Yung nasa left. Yeah, so those are some of our teaser pubs last year. Last year, we did have parang like we post this on our IG stories. Every member or officer posted. Alright, next slide, please. Yeah, of course, we have our speaker pubs. Yung speaker pubs, actually, one important thing that I would request for all project heads here is to get the consent of the speakers also. Because this is very important and it limits us to post this in our social media without their consent. Like, we need the written consent that they approve that we will include their pictures and their details on our social media pages. So, yeah, very important yung consent from them because we cannot publish any of our speaker pubs without that. So, all project heads, if you have a speaker, especially yung mga outside from DLSU, please ask for their consent agad na we will use their photos and their details in our postings. And yeah, take a screenshot of that na yan and send it to BM agad so we can take note of that. Next slide, please. All right, here we also have a supplementary pub, which is our countdown pubs. So you can see our ways to, really engage with our audience and to hype up the event. Next slide. Ayan.
Excuse me, can you give us your best riz?
Pera ka ba?
Bakit?
Just give me money!
Excuse me, can you give me your best riz?
Investor Society to, di ba?
Yes!
So, pwede bang mag-invest sa'yo?
Excuse me, give us your best riz.
Let me cook. Risk ka ba?
Bakit?
Kasi you're worth taking.
Excuse me!
Yeah?
Can you give me your best riz?
Alright. Rit ka ba?
Bakit?
Kasi gusto kita tayuan ng bahay.
Treat me like what Excuse me.
Hello.
Give us your best riz.
Are you a bunch of green candlesticks?
Why?
Because my life's been an uptrend ever since I met you.
Excuse me! Can you give me a riz? Investing is all about risk, but you look like a sure thing to me.
All right. So as you can see, we have our bite-sized content and we hope to do a lot of that this year. So yung mga want to be our special talents and in front of the camera, get yourselves ready. We'll have that rin for every event. We'll have some sort of parang content on, let's say, question related to that event or parang how we can hype it up. So those are sample. And next slide, please. I think this is a recap. This was from ERW, yes. So I'll talk over it. Pero yeah, basically this is going to be your event recap for your project. We hope to have this at every project. So mga short clips and photos lang, and it will be less than a minute long to really have parang, it's very fun lang, and also the way to have our to document it in a sense here. So that when we go to our Facebook pages, our IG, you can see all the events that took place. Hindi lang siya puro main pub na post. Yes. Yes, video made by Matthew Kapon. Hi, Matt. Nice one. We love it.
Join Investors Society!
All right. Next slide, please. Yeah, so here are more of our publications that we've done over this was from last year, from all of our events. You can see we try to have consistent branding. So for instance, we can see from Horizon, this was a two-part event. So the branding is somehow, you can see it's consistent naman. It's very Skyline Horizon-y. And yung sa Leap, we can see that we have yung Crazy Rich Asians because that's what was our team nung Leap and stuff. So yeah, it's really we try to keep, of course, having our branding, having that direction. We can see that it ensures cohesiveness and it really, it pops out rin. Next slide, please. And also, of course, for we also help out in creating the materials for the projects of the investment committee. So this was some of their Finlit series from last year. So you can see also it's very on brand, hindi siya nag-iiba kasi yeah, we wanted to keep it on cohesive talaga. Next slide, please. And of course, more of our videos this was from this year alone. So hopefully we will be able to make more and to really build our identity on Reels as well, using Reels and for our projects also. So I think that wraps up for marketing. Thank you everyone for listening. I hope you guys were there. Oh wait, sorry, next slide. I have final remarks. Okay, so final remarks. So yes, all captions and email blasts will be handled by marketing. So for all project heads, please communicate with marketing with your request for the content for the email. So if may need pa kayong mga links to be added, please align with us as well. And of course, the caption details, this should be included already in your requisition form that you submitted with your pre-act, so such as the date, venue, time, other important details is needed. And email blast request must be requested at least 1 day before, or at least, yeah, there needs to be a specific time because if you guys know those people who do mail merge, this, especially if for all members siya, and we have a lot of members, it takes more than an hour to send that blast. Like, it needs to be naka-standby lang yung laptop and stuff. So obviously, we need enough time to work on that. And any rush posting not indicated in the PRF or in the campaign blueprint will be subject to approval. Why? Because we have to remember that we have lead time for approvals for pubs from CSO alone. So, and of course, we need enough time for our creatives to do their magic and to work on the materials. So yes, ayun, long story short, I hope you guys learned a lot from brand management and from marketing. And we're excited, to work with all of you guys as project heads, for our future project heads, for our events. And yeah, and if you guys have any questions with marketing related or brand management related, don't be afraid to ask. So that's all. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Anthea and Christine, for that wonderful overview of your committee. Let us now proceed to our open forum portion.
Okay, guys, open forum Q&A. We are now opening the floor for questions. Huwag na kayong mahiya, guys. Kahit anong itanong nyo, wala namang magagalit na officer dito sa IS. We're not gonna grade you anyway. There we go. We have first question from Felipe. Go on, bro.
Hello, can I be heard?
Yeah, you can be heard.
Quick question lang for the finance processes. Last year, in my experience, it was from payees Gcash to the orgs, VPs, Fins Gcash. Then it went to the DLSU bank or the DLSU Gcash bank, whatever. And then at the end of my tenure, it shifted from Gcash payee to Gcash DLSU agad. So my question for this is, has the process for finance in the recent ARWs, has it gotten easier from CSO, the 49th CSO, or is it harder? That's all.
Hello, wait. Sorry,
Okay.
can you repeat the question?
Okay. Could you repeat lang the question?
No problem. I was meant to stuttering.
Yes,
So
thank you.
essentially, from my experience last year, before it was the process of payment and processing of finance was GCash of payee, or the person who's gonna pay, say for example, material or an event thing. It was from their GCash, and then it went to the org's GCash or the VP fins, right? And then then we sent it directly to the DLSU's VP, DLSU's BDO payment. Then after that, near the end of last year, the 49th PSO thing, from what I remember, they made a change at like term 3 that stated that if doing that process where it's three points, it would be straight from the payee's GCash to the BDO DLSU. And so my question is essentially, has that made the process, say for example, allocating budgets and auditing ARW essentially, has that made it easier? So is it faster or does it take more time? That's just the gist of my question.
Okay, so I think from the previous processes, I think nagbago na sila in a way na parang imbes na direct to DLSU Fin account, yung ginagawa nila, they send it to the accounts of the VPs for each org first. Then after that, after the ARW proper, doon pa lang isa-send directly to the BDO account ng IS. From my personal GCash, doon send sa SU BDO account. So I think that was parang in a way much easier. I feel like it was more direct on our side for Finn. So I guess did I answer your question ba?
Yeah. Got. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Does anyone have any more questions? Oh, I see. VP for TM Cali said that there's 1 coin per question that you ask. So go ahead, raise your hands, get those coins. Oh, Felipe has another question. Go ahead. Oh.
Purely for the sake of the coins, what is Edward's favorite food individually? But no, that's a joke. Just a joke. But yeah, enough.
Did you guys answer that question by Felipe?
Cut out a little bit for me. Can you please repeat the question for me, Charlie?
Isn't that Ed board? Am I right? Exec board?
Yeah.
Are you asking them?
So all the EVPs essentially.
All right. Guy, I think you answer that first. I think he's asking what's your favorite food.
Oh, my
I'm right,
favorite
right? Isn't it Felipe the favorite food?
Yeah, that's basically my question. Just a joke though for the coins, you know.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're smart on that one. Yeah, Kai, I think you answer that first.
Sure. Yeah, my favorite food is also steak. I remember I got hyped up earlier about the medium rare steak. I back that all the way. Especially if you have mashed potatoes on the side. Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah. You know, I like steak too, but I'll give a different answer. I think my favorite food talaga is a burger. Eh. But it's almost the same thing, just with bread. Yeah, any more AVPs or VPs that wanna answer that question? Wanna share?
Actually, I have a question for all of the JAs and even the officers and DEB here. What's your favorite side dish with steak, guys?
Grabe ka talaga. We haven't eaten dinner yet and you're asking those type of questions? Oh my god, man. Yeah, you guys can answer in the chat box if you don't wanna open your mic. Mashed potatoes is goated. Try it.
Potatoes and chives. Hey, baby potatoes. That's really niche. I like that. Buttered veggies. I see you're health conscious. That's dope. Wedge
We like the
fries.
answers, guys. Mashed potato. I don't know if we've mentioned this already, but Kai likes to eat his steak with mayonnaise.
Nah, I would never. Oh my gosh, that's like a sin to steak.
Yeah, his sides are pickles actually with his steak. That's why I never eat steak with this guy. All right, guys.
check the
If
chat.
you have
Cord.
any questions, just feel free to raise your hand while we're discussing what's the favorable side dish for steaks. What's with the mayo? I don't know with
Oh
kind.
my gosh, I saw. You should try it with Japanese mayo, guys. Like I put everything. I put Japanese mayo in everything, and it's never failed me.
I mean,
Ooh,
Kewpie never goes wrong actually.
not gonna lie. Oh, I saw asparagus
We
here
have
in the chat.
validated your
Wow.
mayonnaise now because you said it's Japanese. Nice. You guys were questioning his decision with mayonnaise, huh? I guess you just put Japanese in front and everyone likes it now. Yeah, I think I like sushi as well. I think one of these days we might have sushi for for team dinner. I don't know, man. Baka kaya ng ano natin dyan. X deals. If you
Yo.
Okay, guys. As Kali mentioned, attendance will only count if you're present in the picture taking and in the evaluation forms. Yeah, baked sushi is actually good. Halatang gutom na tayong lahat, ah.
Last call for questions,
If
guys.
you don't have any questions about the presentation earlier,
It's a good way to get coins.
I think we shouldn't have talked about steak, man. I think they all got hungry and don't want to bother to ask any question now. That was a bad decision there.
Nah. Let's move on to the next segment of our program, which is actually
All right. As we end this session, we would like to call on our executive board to give us their closing remarks and provide our JAs with an overview, as to what lies ahead in their journey in Investor Society. EBs? Naku, wala pa. Pero magpapa-Wolfgang daw yung EVP Ops.
Ayan. Okay, so mauna muna ako para sunod-sunod na. Okay, so hi everyone! Hi JAs and AVPs and of course our Exacom. Thank you so much for once again giving us your 3 hours more than para makapakinig dito sa ating event, which is Basics of Project Heading. So this event is entirely for you and for you guys para matrain namin kayo one day. Ay, 2 hours pa lang pala, sorry. Yon, 2 hours. See, medyo gutom na din. I think gutom na ang lahat. Ayun, anyway. So, thank you so much guys for coming to this event. Kanina 90 plus tayo. Ayun, so salamat dahil nagbigay kayo ng attention span kahit sobrang tedious ng mga discussions natin for today. So tomorrow, if you guys will join our Basics of Project Heading Day 2, we will be discussing yung medyo mas fun side naman ng ating mga project heading operations. So thank you so much once again then to BM and of course Ops na nagbigay din ng oras and of course externals din. So thank you for everyone who presented. So I hope na you guys keep interacting lang sa ating events because recently our TM, the management, has implemented our points and crosses tracker as well. So of course, lahat ng participations nyo guys, if napansin nyo, bawat comment, bawat question, lahat yan may merit. So that's what IS is. Lahat ng efforts nyo guys, they will never go to waste. So ayun, yun lang from me. Thank you so much. How about the other EB? Meron ba kayong...
Operations, I'll go next. And guys, as you have seen or listened to in the previous slides, marami talagang processes for finance and documentations. Pero what we would like to highlight here is that most of us are still new to the processes. Most of us are still learning what to do. So what I would like to say is let's try to communicate talaga, like all our concerns, all the requirements, everything basically that we want and need for the project. As much as possible, feel free and be open to communicate them with your respective officers in charge. Kasi we're not gonna like say bad things naman. We're not gonna think badly na, oy, ba't hindi niya to nagawa? We're gonna be open kasi we know we're all still learning. We're all still getting familiar with the processes. And your operations officers, your finance and documentations officers, they're all very willing to discuss with you what you need for the pre-apps, the post-apps, and of course your other documents. So don't hesitate to communicate. Don't hesitate to open up what you need for your respective projects. And as well, thank you sa VPs ko, Naomi and Louie, for clearly explaining what they need to do, what the project heads need to do for both finance and documentation. So I hope you guys attend also tomorrow, since I'll also be there. Your VPs will also be there and your other officers. And good luck to the future project heads of Investor Society. Thank you.
So, hi guys, good evening. Sorry I can't turn on my camera, but um, thank you so much for joining us for day one of project heading. And I can see naman na talagang you are all, interested in learning the processes of the per committee project. So, isa puso nyo lahat ng mga tinuro ngayon ng um, operations, externals, and BM kasi this will be your guide when you get the opportunity na to become project head in our organization. And we can't wait for you guys to step up and take the role of project head. So all of your AVPs, VPs, and EBs are all here to guide you throughout the process ng ng pag-head ng project. And we believe na really experience is the best, teacher, and we're here to guide you throughout it all. And yeah, see you tomorrow for day 2. And we hope to see you soon F2F din para I heard na si EVP Ops may daw, may pakain. Kaya yeah, stay tuned doon. The joke. Okay, thank you so much guys.
Okay. So, meron pa bang magsasalita from EV? I think no one goes after the president, huh? No? Do you think, Kai?
Speak now or forever hold your peace. All right. Sige. So thank you so much to our beloved executive board for that inspiring talk. And we hope that you guys really learned a lot from this program and that you're looking forward to this year in Investor Society. And now to formally end this event, may I please call on Roby Manoto to please give our close prayer.
Let's please put our hands together and be graced by the heavenly presence of God. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Dear God, dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for guiding us through today's session, AOP Basic Project Handling Day 1. We are grateful for the fruitful discussions and the commitment shared between our committees, ops, externals, and BM. And may you continue to support our JAs and AVPs as they prepare for exciting leadership roles. May the lessons we learned today inspire us to serve with purpose, unity, and love, reflecting in your guidance in all that we do. Let us pray in the Lasallian prayer. I'll continue, oh my God, to do all my actions for the love of you. Saint John Baptist de La Salle, pray for us, with Jesus in our hearts forever. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Okay, thank you for that prayer, Roby. Akala ko nga, bless us, O Lord, na. I'm actually hungry. I was thinking of, baka yun yung sabi ni Roby for prayer. Anyway, so that concludes our event for today. But before we formally end the program and focus on the rest of our night, shouldn't we take a picture muna, Kai? Kai?
Yes, sir. That's right. All right. Tara, everyone, let's take a picture to commemorate this breakthrough event. Please open your cameras.
Guys, open your cameras. If you really can't, at least try to show your avatar. Who's gonna be responsible for taking the picture? Pala. Do we have anyone na? Okay, Kali will take a picture daw. Okay, let's wait for everyone to open their cameras or show their avatars. Guys, if you didn't know, you can create your own avatar. So we all look different if you guys want to. You can use video filters then if you want. Me, I'm wearing some sunglass ata to for a vampire.
All right, Callie, are we ready to take the picture? Is there anyone who isn't showing their camera or avatar, or even if you can't open either, just heart react when we count down?
Ayan. I think we can stop sharing muna para kita lahat. Thank you.
We're still waiting for 1, 2, 3, 4, 12 people. Oh no, never mind. There's still 16 that haven't opened their copy, but we have people who have heart reacted. I don't think they can open. I think you can count down, Kali.
Hello. Oh my God. Sorry. Sorry, I'm late.
All right, it's fine. Don't worry.
Hello. Okay, there. Are we good na? I'll count down na, guys. Last call for picture. Okay. 1, 2, 3, smile. Ah. Okay. Wait lang. Okay, done. Next, I assign hosts. Kindly teach them.
I think didn't we teach this in General Assembly?
Yeah, we did. Kaso may mga absent last time eh.
Fair enough. Okay, 2 fingers on the left and on the right.
Kaso yung mga naka-avatar hindi ata kaya. So, yeah. Anyway, hold that pose lang.
Bye. The IS pose.
Okay, done. Thank you.
All right, so since we're done with the picture taking, I would like to remind everyone to answer the ARF forms before leaving the room. And once again, I am Charlie.
And I am Kai. Thank you for attending our event today, and we'll see you tomorrow for the next one.
Bye, guys.
Bye,
guys.
guys.
But remember to fill out the ARF.
Yeah. Sorry. Can you fill out yung member survey na nasa chat box? Thank you.
Project heads and hosts and tech, please stay. Thank you.
Pabalik na ako ng slide. Title slide.